Well, this is exciting for me. I hope it's okay to just say that at first you had thought maybe you didn't want to do any videos, and then just, was it yesterday you said
Yeah,
you'd
I
do
don't
it?
need to hide anymore.
You know, I'd have a million questions for you, and I bet people out in in the world would have a million questions too. But just for background, how old are you?
19.
19. You've already spent a year in China, so you've been able to see another culture and live in another culture.
Mm.
You were studying Tai Chi over there. And like Richard, you seem to have a large amount of wisdom early in your life. So I hope that gets shared here and people can kind of benefit from that. Can
Well,
I
I
just
try my best, but that's a lot of pressure.
the pressure's on. My first question would just be what brought you to the what brought you to the woods?
Mm. I mean, the woods have always been a place that I've wanted to go and gain a deeper relationship with. You know, like I've taken walks and, went outside every single day and appreciated the trees, but I really wanted to be immersed and be able to navigate my way through the woods, because I feel like it's, an essential part of being a human that we were more outdoors. Not that it's better, but we were more outdoors and we had these certain skills that benefited us in ways that we may not see right away, and I feel like we lose touch of a certain part of us if we haven't lived in the woods for a long period of time. Long is subjective.
What have you found out here so far?
I found lots of slugs. But along the lines of your question, I found, oh man, I found a deeper silence that was not here before. Like, there's a lot of time where you have to think here, and there's not much to do, but you can do a lot of stuff. But it really just hones your quietness, because there is like small sounds going on, like the rain, or maybe a leaf will come down on your tarp every once in a while, and you can just kind of relax and allow the sounds to come. And so I think what I found out here is more silence. So I don't know if you can find silence, but definitely what people consider like a more peaceful state that I hope I can carry through in the busy world.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit yesterday about bringing things back into the regular, I don't know what we want to call that, into our regular lives.
Mm.
But are there some specific things that you feel like you'll be bringing back after a month here, and are there other things that you hope in the next 3 months you'll be able to cultivate further and bring back?
Mm. Yeah, after a month, I feel like a lot of my skills are just developing. Like, I'm just, breaking through the ground, and now I really want to like hone what I have learned in these next 3 months, and really cultivate that. So bringing back now would just be, like I said, that greater sense of peace, happiness, more laughs for sure. And a little bit of like practical skills as well. I'm definitely going to tell people, I'm definitely going to tell people about pooping. They call it number 2, but it's really number 1. That's my motto out here. Man. No, but after 3 months, I would like to bring back a space that people can feel free in, you know, a space where people can grow. And I don't know if a person can bring that, but you know, if someone walks in the room and, you know, everybody else smiles, or the opposite, you know, someone walks in the room and everyone kind of closes up. I want to be able to, you know, have that stillness within me where I can walk in a room, you know, and greet everyone and have a good time, kind of play the notes of everyone and get everything in harmony as like a song. It's a lot to say, you know, it's a big task for 3 more months, but this is more like a lifelong, you know, thing that I'm hoping to really set the foundation for here. And gifts, of course. I want to bring back gifts like soapstone and a bowl, perhaps. Keep it vague. But I think Richard's, you know, he's gonna bring back good gifts. Mine will be a resemblance of something.
Yeah, Richard's craftsmanship is far beyond mine or yours.
Yes, I would agree with that. You didn't start with the chit-chat questions. You went straight in for it. You gotta warm up. Like, I've never done this.
You're doing great. So at 19 years old, a lot of people that are watching are got a lot of people that might categorize themselves as gamers, as you know, in that age range, and feeling like like a cigarette smoker. They might enjoy the games and really appreciate them in some ways, but at the same time sometimes feeling stuck in these things and kind of addicted. And I think it extends far out of that age range, because we all start to foster these addictions, or, you know, processes in our lives that they kind of feel good, and it's my daily routine, but I'm not necessarily filled up by them. And, you know, especially to people in your age range, can you speak to that demographic, and like what's the most important thing at this time, this moment in a human's life, as we're coming out of high school and moving forward into, you know, that huge expanse of whatever else is going to be out there for us?
Around this age, you know, it's easy to get locked down to one particular future. And I think the most important part is to be able to carry on, you know, our childhood spontaneity and our childhood, you know, curiosity and freedom. So I think at this age, the most important thing would be to keep like experiencing and keep trying out new things, like not getting stuck in the same rut and the same routine. You know, we'll have plenty of time for that later. But I mean, for the whole gamer thing, like some people that's what they need, you know, like that's what they really enjoy, you know, and they don't feel stuck. But for the people who, you know, maybe game and don't feel so good about it, and or watching TV or anything, you know, just get like, because you have to know yourself first. Like, you have to know some parts of yourself and what you do enjoy, whether it be woodworking. Like, once again, there's no recipe because it's going to be different for everyone. You know, so just finding that something that you actually enjoy and it gets you out of doing it and just doing it every day. You know, and maybe set something up, if you're more practical, set something up like, after I play 1 hour this game, then, you know, I'll do 30 minutes of woodworking, or just something simple like that. Just something to get you out of whatever routine that you're already getting in. because that is hard. Like, that's one of the hardest things, is when you get set and stuck in doing something that is addicting. You know, because you can keep doing it, and you're like, things are working out, I'm still getting food, I'm, you know, still surviving in that way, but something feels missing, you know. And I think if you feel that something is missing, or you know, life could be more joyous, then that's really like a calling to find that. And I think this is a beautiful time when you're around this age to start exploring that and start to really get out of that comfort zone while still like having a safe place to rest. Like, I'm not saying cut it out cold turkey and you know, go to China for a year. But if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. So it's kind of getting time to know yourself, to know what you really need, and going for it. You know, classic, just do it. You just need to do it. Start. And like, by the time, before you know it, like, you'll be so happy. So happy. And then you'll be able to go back and play those same games with like a different perspective and a different eye, and like you enjoy it in a different way, in an almost nostalgic way. You know, when you get that little break from it. So I guess my advice would just take a short break, find other things, and whatever comes from that, you know, then it's your choice again. Like, I have like a small example that's funny, but like we were eating a lot of peanut butter, like every day, just peanut butter.
You and Richard.
Yeah.
Here. Okay.
Yeah. We got it at the store. You know, this was our treat, and we were just eating it all the time. And we're like, this is the best, you know, like. But I mean, we were neglecting so many of the other good foods. You know, they were going bad, and we're like, oh, we really got to start eating these vegetables. So we're like, okay, we're going on a peanut butter fast, and we stopped eating peanut butter. And at first, like, you know, we're like, oh man, after training, you know, I just want to eat peanut butter and I don't want to cook. But we started cooking or having vegetables and stuff like that. And next thing you know, like a week went by and we didn't have peanut butter. And then we had like this great feast where we only had one jar, but we just ate the peanut butter and we were way more present because we appreciated it now, and because we didn't have it for that week, you know. And we said we want to continue doing that because it feels better that way, you know. It's gonna be better all around because we're eating all the other food, and then we'll also get the peanut butter. But it's just like getting stuck in that rut of doing the same thing because you think it's so good, but you're really like neglecting other sides of your life. So when you just kind of decide to cut it out, it's not as bad as you think it is. And then when you come back to it, it's even better. So that's my weird metaphor kind of connection.
I love that. I love that it's not about demonizing the peanut butter and being like, I must eradicate peanut butter from my life for the rest of my existence. You step back from it, and then you return to it, and it's more precious than it was when it was just the routine of the habit. Wow. Richard's sneaking up on us. The funniest thing that's happened to you out here?
I already know. We were trying to start a fire. This was probably first or second week. And it's late at night. We're trying to start a fire because we got to make dinner. And we got the tinder bundle. We have our little, you know, teepee set up, and we put the tinder bundle in. And then we just lost it. Like, I don't know. I think Richard says something, and I couldn't stop laughing. You know, just one of those times where even if I explained what he said, it wouldn't be funny, you know? But we just started laughing like as hard as we could, and we're trying to blow it, you know, trying to get it going, and, you know, our fire's going out, we don't want to start another one. And then, you know, Gav, George, and Danya come running. We're like, yes, perfect timing, you know, because we're still laughing. We're like, help us, and they come in, and Danya gets right down, he starts blowing on the fire. We're still laughing, cracking up, doing nothing, watching a kid start our fire for us, you know. We were completely useless. Like, if they didn't show up at that perfect time, there was no fire that night, no food. It was just one of those super, super funny moments that I'll always remember. Almost like every other night, I'll be laying in bed before sleep and think about it just because it was so perfect, the timing and everything.
Toughest thing about being out here?
Definitely missing your family. You know, missing your usual way of life. You know, certain comforts, and it's one of the best things, but it's also one of the toughest because you really realize and appreciate what you had. And in our situation, what you can go back to, which is a beautiful thing. Like, I didn't just lose it and, you know, I can't go back to it. Now I purposefully lost it for these 4 months, and I'm able to go back with a greater gratitude and appreciation for, you know, my family and just all the beautiful things they've given me. And it's tough. We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Because there is so much, like, quiet time.
You meet yourself when you have quiet time, don't you? Yeah. Has there been anything really frustrating?
Trying to light that match with the magnesium starter.
Oh.
And it wouldn't go.
I've never actually tried it, but I thought, of course that's going to work. And then I set you off. I'm so sorry.
Well, you're going to get 50 people being like, I got it first try. What was so frustrating about that? But no, frustrating, no.
No, okay.
I haven't been like, oh. No.
So you already had this Tai Chi background, but then we started doing all kinds of other martial arts stuff, and you've just jumped onto this. I mean, it's so fun to spar with you and ground fight with you. What is it about the martial arts that you like so much? And
what is it that I like so much?
or anything you want to say about the martial arts?
It's like one of those questions again. You gotta answer these questions yourself because it's the hardest questions. Because I can say, you know, I love the discipline of it. I love, you know, gaining skill or the connection between, you know, the two people in the battle. Like, just the respect that's there, or the movement of it that's so natural, and or the artistic aspect. But it's one of those things, again, where I really just don't know. Like, I don't know why I like it so much. It's just, when I do it, I feel a great joy, you know. I'm immersed in it. I'm not thinking about anything else. And then afterwards, I feel silent-minded, and I told you, for lack of a better word, like complete, almost. Like, just, I don't really need anything else. Like, as long as I'm training and working on that, and that's what I like about it. I like the discipline. And
I feel like when we're sparring, I see in you a lot something that in the warrior ethos we try to cultivate, which is this sense of Mushin, this mind no mind, where you know, when you say two people engage like that, so it often feels like that when we're fighting. It just feels mindlessly mindful. I don't know we don't have any word for it, but where there's this this is such a hard concept to explain with our language, but you seem to have found it, and it bleeds through into other areas of your life. Can you say anything about that?
Mushin.
Yeah. Is it Wu Wei in
Wu Wei.
Chinese? Okay.
Ah, you've done your research. Very well.
Dao De Jing.
Yeah, Wu Wei. Action, no action. Can I say something about nothing? Easiest question I've ever heard. No, it's just being immersed in what you're doing. It's just being completely open and receptive, so passive in that way, but not passive as in you're not doing anything. Passive in the sense that everything is open. You're taking things in and you're not judging what the input is. You're just trusting that your body, mind, whatever can react to the situation without your conscious thought or input. So when we're sparring, I feel it's much easier because we've been in combat for, humans, have been in combat for a long, long time. And when you're in it, while it's not a fight to the death, it's almost like you take it like that, so you can be immersed in it in that way. And if I'm thinking the whole time, like, oh no, he's totally gonna kick me and I gotta kind of react, it creates an anxious attitude, and then you're thinking. But if you're just in there, just trusting what your body's gonna do, like, I don't think what my range is or what combination I'm gonna do. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I like doing now, and it's just having a silent enough mind to do that. There'll be thoughts that come in, but it doesn't like, I don't stop there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thought will come, oh, I should do this, but I won't do it. I'm not gonna resist it, and I may do it, but it's not like I take that all the thoughts that come in as truth. Like most of the time, like the best attacks or the best defenses are the ones where like there's none of that. Like it's just opening reaction. No separation. Like opening, okay, what can I do? Action.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like if I threw an apple really quick at you, you just catch it. You can be like, it's coming this way. Let's use my right hand to grab it. It's just
right.
Reaction. So,
for those that are training in martial arts, so we were doing a kicking the supporting leg when a round kick comes up, moving away from that kick and kicking the supporting leg. And you were saying the other day that if you try to think about that, it kind of disrupted that flow. Would that be some advice you'd give to martial artists? If you can have your techniques, but I almost think of it as you train that technique outside of your sparring. But when you go in and you're going to, do as realistic of sparring as you can, that's the time to let go of all technique, essentially, and just be or whatever.
Mm. Yeah, totally. I haven't seen the fruits of my labor over time. I've only seen it through this month and whatever before, but from what I'm seeing now, it's like when you drill, you can think about it, do your actions and, maybe kind of plan a little bit, make it become muscle memory. But when you're in the fight, like you said, like when I was thinking about, okay, as soon as you roundhouse, I'm going to do this, a punch would come. And I would be thinking about feet the whole time. So, definitely I would agree with that advice. To when you are sparring, just forget about any of your techniques. And if you want, you can film it, so afterwards you can see, what you can work on more for your muscle memory. And I think gradually over time, that'll just be integrated naturally. Because I think the most important thing in the sparring aspect is learning awareness. Is learning that mushin.
Yeah.
And outside you can learn the techniques. Because to me, martial arts, and I'll talk about your question earlier, it's not only about the fighting and the combat aspect. It is about that mushin and also way of life and all that. So there's more you can get out of the sparring than winning or landing the greatest combination or any of that stuff. I think you can learn something deeper and more profound that you can carry into other aspects of your life. So play around with it. Do whatever you want to do. Here's advice.
This may be another impossible question to answer, but something that can be a real liability for those that are doing more realistic sparring, where you guys, you're actually hitting each other pretty hard at this point, is that a lot of people struggle with anger. They get hit and then they start to lose it a little bit. And you and Richard both have this aspect where you can go in and, if you get kicked in the balls or whatever else, there's never, I've never seen the tiniest flicker of anger or losing it come into you guys. Is there a recipe for that? Or a way that
Yes.
a martial artist could work towards that, if that's something that they are struggling with?
For sure. Once again, it's easier for me to have no anger when I know, like, my sparring partner, either you or Richard, has none of that. I know it will never escalate to that. So as long as I don't add my whatever flair to it. So it's easy here, but I feel like I wouldn't lose my control anywhere. So I guess I can touch on that too, and that is I guess it's just experience. Like, if you've been in situations like that and you've seen when someone adds their aggression, it usually ends not too good. So it's just kind of seeing it. And I'm sure if you had that aggression and you added it to, whether it be through like a verbal fight or a physical fight, it's the place you're coming from that really kind of dictates the outcome. Like, if I maybe say a remark and I have a humorous attitude to it, it'll be more of a joking way most of the time. Sometimes people take it the wrong way, but if you have that intent of aggression, it'll just keep building between the two people. So a way to release that I've used in the past is just knowing that when I add this aggression, there are going to be consequences, like, for sure. But nowadays, like, I don't think about it. I don't have to think about, like, not being aggressive or whatever. Kind of just integrated into who I am. Like, and that's definitely from my father. Like, he has no aggression in him whatsoever, And that made it easy, because I've seen him do things, just by his presence and by knowing that he's not going to fight, that situation's totally reversed. People with the aggression just it just shattered their whole world, and they lost their aggression and all that. And so I know it works. And so I followed suit, when you have that peaceful attitude, and peaceful not meaning passive, all the times. But that peaceful attitude, that where you want to resolve the situation and you don't want things to escalate because you really care about people and you have compassion for, life. It really is felt. So if you can just start to be around and understand that maybe society's version of being a man is a bit different than how it actually is. So sometimes, most of the time we have aggression, it's because I think my idea is because it conflicts with the belief we have about ourselves. And we're all beyond beliefs when we get down to it, when we really get down to it. So if something like triggers you, just notice what belief in you it triggers. You know, what part of you did that really make mad? Was it really you that is mad when someone says something about you? Because, I mean, if you know who you are, if you know that you're not a wimp or whatever, and then someone calls you a wimp, it's not going to mean anything because you don't have that belief that you are that. So if you can just really know who you are and spend time, you know, quietly, and things will naturally take their course, I think. I don't know if I answered the question.
No, that was beautiful. I think it speaks to men in our culture a lot, because it can be, I think, for a lot of us, it can be really confusing to be a man in this culture. And what does it mean? What is masculinity? What, you know? And sometimes the definitions of it we see are so hyper aggressive, and you know, and then sometimes we're offered up this super passive version of it. So something you said there where you talked about being peaceful, and that's not the same as passivity. And you talked about your father, you know, being able to enter into situations, and you witness this and transform them through his way of being. And I'm guessing that wasn't by yelling and throwing things.
No.
Right.
That's something I can't explain. Like, it's something that's way beyond my comprehension. Like, how that works, or I'm not even going to try to pretend like I know. But I've seen it many times where if you come into a situation, you know, with a clear mind, and you wish for things to be resolved because of the compassion, like I was saying, like, everything else interacts differently. It just works that way. That's something you can know by experience. It's something that's hard to just take as a belief, or as, oh, this is how the world works. But you know, the more open you are and the more experiences you've had like this, like it becomes unquestionable. You know how compassion can shape your world and other people's, and without even saying anything.
I did 3 months out once. I'm not going to say what school, because if I'm not saying something positive about something, then I don't want to name what I'm talking about. But I kind of starved to death there. It was just, I feel like all I ate was lentils, basically, and for 3 months. And I came back really skinny. And I've been really happy to hear that you guys have, it seems like you're enjoying your food and eating lots of healthy stuff. What's the best thing you have cooked for yourself out here, or eaten?
So something we've gotten really good at making is definitely like our omelet-esque dish, which Richard called breakfast summer bounty.
Breakfast?
So, breakfast summer bounty.
Summer bounty, okay.
So, you know, we just take our frying pan, put a little olive oil in there. Well, first we have a fire. You know, so anything over a fire is 10 times more delicious, and that's a fact. 10 times. You can quote me. But we add our eggs. You know, we have everything cut up. We put some broccoli in there. If we can find like golden chanterelles, that makes it like way more delicious as well. I'm not gonna say it amount 10 times. But if not, you know, just some baby bella mushrooms, diced up some tomatoes, green pepper, onions, and super cheese, or nutritional yeast. Sometimes. We don't really add it all the time, but if you add that to the eggs, it's kind of like cheese, because we don't have cheese out here.
Ah, okay. And
it's really good.
Tastes like cheese? And,
yeah.
Okay.
On black pepper.
Black pepper.
I think that's it. We vary it up, but I think that's like my favorite combination.
Wow.
The food out here is like amazing. Like, we are eating delicious, tasty, nutritious foods. Like, I can't answer. I don't know how you did lentils for 3 months.
Like, not happily.
I really don't.
Did you make any meals that you took a bite full and you just couldn't eat, or were really bad, or has it been all good?
That's one thing that's amazed us, because neither of us have a cooking experience or background, but like all the stuff we make is really, really yummy. I mean, I think the worst thing that was made was when Richard was gone and I was cooking by myself, and I didn't follow the directions on the bean pasta. Like, you're supposed to cook them separately, and I was like, I don't need directions. Like, come on, I've been out here, 3 weeks. I can make my own meal. But I added like parsnip and different stuff to the water. Oh, it's so bad. But it wasn't one of those bad things where like you eat it and you're like, ew, that's gross. It's one of those things that's like, you eat it and you're like, oh, it's pretty good, and then you keep eating it and you're like, and then you're like, well, I have a big bowl and I gotta keep finishing it. And then by the time you're just feeling really bad. I don't know why I was eating that. So that's probably the only bad meal that I've made. Parsnip and bean pasta.
Thank you for doing this. Is there anything else you'd like to share with people?
Like about anything?
Anything, yeah.
Oh. It's gonna be super simple, but just do what you enjoy, immerse yourself in the beauties around you, and hopefully come to see that, in my perspective at least, that life is just celebration. Like everything about life is just expressive and expansive, and that's where all the joy comes from. It comes from giving, all of that energy away. Because it's easy. I had dreams last night. It was really awesome. Like they were shooting stars and the stars were exploding. Like all the energy was just being released from it in like a firework. And that's how all this is. Like all of this is just fireworks and dancing and playing and celebration. It would be easy. It would be easier to have none of this. So to have some of it is, spectacular. To like have like the explosions and to have eyes to see them and appreciate them and stuff like that, because it could just be, as a metaphor, I love rocks, but it could just be like all just rocks where they just shell themselves over and they're not expressive in a way that we would normally see. And everything could do that. Like a tree could just be a seed and then just form a bark ball around it. And everything could just be like that. But it's not. Like it's courageous. And I'm adding my personification to things. Yeah. But it's courageous for a seed to be like, okay, I'm gonna go through this dirt, and it's gonna be way harder than just totally surrounding myself and staying under here. But it comes out and it grows its leaves, and then it's like, alright, I think I'm ready. I'm going to grow some branches out here, like really stretch myself out. And then it grows the leaves, and the leaves are an expression of it, and fruit for, anything to eat. Like, that's celebration. I mean, why else would you make fruit? And, like, food that you can eat and stuff like that, so. I guess it's just being courageous and allowing yourself to go through these stages and eventually get fruit in celebration. So I would like to dance with you, all of you, someday. I'm not a dancer. I mean, I'm a highly trained expert in the school of, I'm a human. I was once a child, so I can probably sway my hips and shake my hands. And that's the school I go to. They're shortening the name. But no, just dance or sing and express and make art and laugh. Make your day as a martial artist, or any kind of artist. Like, make your day a piece of art. I think I don't know what that exact quote is, but or who said it, but it was like the hardest art there is the art of living. Learning how to live. And that's very true. But I think it's the one art that we all really deep down know how to do. We just need to remember.
you, Jeff.
Thank you.
So beautiful.